This song that I'm going to play for you is called Flannery's Dream. It has a really interesting story. It might date back to the Revolutionary War or the Civil War, but probably the Revolutionary War, in which a Scots-Irish soldier, American soldier, named Flannery, was jailed with several of his soldier buddies. And as they were in jail, the jailer was a rude and obnoxious man. And that man sat outside the bars, and he was taunting them and teasing them. And Flannery's friend said, you ought not tease us, because Flannery over here, Flannery's our fiddle player. Now, back in those days, if you're a fiddle player, you were kind of like a celebrity, because not many people played the fiddle, and everybody would just kind of gather around you like chickens around a June bug. You were their entertainment, so you were kind of popular. So all these guys said, you shouldn't tease us. Flannery's our fiddle player. He's somebody. That jailer said, I don't believe it. That scrawny old thing, he ain't no fiddle player. They said, oh, yeah, he's our fiddle player, and he's good. He knows every fiddle song that's ever been fiddled. That jailer said, I don't believe that for a second. I've heard every fiddle song that's ever been fiddled, and I bet he couldn't play nothing I ain't heard before. They said, oh, you're wrong about that. He knows every song, and he knows then some. The jailer said, well, if I get you a fiddle, you think you could play one I ain't never heard before? His friend said, you bet he could. He could play a whole slew of things you ain't never heard before. The jailer went out that night, and he went and hunted up a fiddle. And Flannery laid in his cot, and he was asleep, and he was in kind of a feverish dream because he was nervous, because, heck, Flannery only knew 2 tunes. The next morning, the jailer came, and he brought a fiddle to Flannery, and he held it through the bars. Flannery took the fiddle, and he tuned it up. Now, Flannery didn't know what he was going to play the night before, but as he slept that night, he dreamt about a bear who was chasing him, and in the bear's hands was a fiddle and a bow, and he was playing a tune. And Flannery heard that tune all night long as the bear chased him. The next morning, when he got that fiddle in his hands, that was the tune running through his head, something he'd heard in his dream. He tuned up the fiddle, he rosined up the bow, and he began to play this song. And of course, the jailer had never heard it before. So he let Flannery and his friends go free. Flannery got to keep the fiddle. And here she comes, called Flannery's Dream.